Hello friends and welcome to our video about the 3 R's, which we all should have learned about in elementary school. There's a picture of my own personal recycling, and I was going through it and just kind of wanted to learn about what could and could not be recycled, as some of the stuff that I was putting in my recycling bin, I was looking at and wondering, am I doing this right? So I am here today to share with you what I found. With the help of my friend Lena, I learned quite a few interesting things. So here she is talking about plastics.
Plastics are very cheap to make right now, so oil prices are low, and it's easier for companies to just make new plastics instead of using the plastics that have already been recycled. It's more cost effective, and it's actually not very energy efficient to turn plastics into other plastics. Plastics are also downgraded when they're recycled, so a plastic bottle may not be able to be returned into a plastic bottle. It might be recycled into turning into a park bench or something less useful like that. So there's not that many times that something can be recycled from plastic. Things like aluminum and glass and paper are better for recycling.
After I learned that about plastics, I wondered what else don't I know? And I decided to do some research, and I encourage all you friends to do the same. I just looked up how to recycle in Missouri, or more specifically, you can look up how to recycle within your specific county or city, and definitely figure out what can be recycled in your area. And also, maybe there's a facility near you where you can bring other items that can't be recycled through normal recycling, and that you can take care of in a different way and actually sort yourself.
Aluminum is a lot easier to be recycled because it can be turned into aluminum and not really lose much, and it's pretty efficient. Paper is pretty efficient too. Glass is pretty efficient, but it also weighs a lot, and it poses dangers for workers that have to handle glass because it can break, and it can be broken in the recycling process or already be broken in the bags when they get it from the dumpsters and everything. So glass is starting to be less of a good alternative for recycling, but it is really good for things like using for bulk and reusing in your home. Things like Tupperware that can maybe have a Tupperware that lasts longer than a plastic Tupperware, doesn't stain, things like that. So I would say aluminum and paper/cardboard are the best recyclables.
So once you've determined what can actually be recycled in your area, it's important to keep in mind that not everything that is recycled is actually able to be recycled. One thing that happens quite a lot is that contamination happens, either from food or from things that cannot be recycled being put in the recycling bin. So make sure that you are washing your recycling before putting it in the bin. Additionally, make sure it's in the right format. So with aluminum foil, make sure you ball it up. And then as far as things that cannot be recycled, make sure that you are keeping things like chip bags and unmarked plastic bags out of the recycling bin.
For things that you cannot find in bulk or you can't find in your area and sustainable solutions, TerraCycle is a great program to look into, especially if you're in the United States. So TerraCycle is a way to recycle things that aren't normally recycled. It also takes things and melts them down into things that are a little bit less useful, but it's still a great program. So things like old makeup products, packaging, and the products themselves, as well as a lot of oral care products, can be melted down into plastics and then made into things like park benches, other products, like flower pots, things like that. So I would definitely check them out, but it's not a solution to everything.
So now we've talked about recycling, let's talk about reducing and reusing. For one thing, definitely invest in products like reusable water bottles, like something glass or aluminum. Another thing that I'm working on is buying things in bulk. So as you can see here, my cabinet has a lot of plastic in it still and different products that I've bought, but I've transferred them to reusable jars and containers so that in the future I can start buying them in bulk. For plastic bags, they are not commonly able to be recycled through mainstream recycling. So what I do is I save up all of my plastic bags and then bring them to my local grocery store where they tend to have a bin outside where they accept them. So now it's time to talk about the 4th R, which is rot. So if you cannot compost in your own backyard, make sure to look into composting areas near you.
So overall, we've learned that recycling isn't a solution in the long term. It's good for short-term transitioning to finding sustainable products, what you can afford, what's available in your area, things like bulk stores that you can get things with low waste, products that fit into your lifestyle, and using things that can be used for multi-purpose.